for 3 races today, but we've left some MTOs in. We'll see how things progress as the day goes on. Head over to Naira Bets. We'll get through the important things or unimportant things, depending on how you look at it. If you already signed up for Naira Bets, this is completely unimportant to you, but if you haven't, pay attention. Use the promo code Belmont25. We'll give you a free $25 bet plus $200 sign-up bonus. Head on over to NairaBets.com. What do we have? We have Belmont Saturday Contest this weekend. You got until tomorrow, 5 p.m. to sign up. A little over a day to do that. We also have a $5,000 contest for Belmont Stakes.
There it is.
Belmont Stakes Betting Challenge. That'll be Friday and Saturday, on track and online. 50,000 seated prize pool, $5,000 buy-in, all cash prizes. Register now at naira.com/contests. What else do we have in store? Oh, Belmont Stakes tickets, they are still on sale. Get them while you can. Going to be an amazing day of racing, tremendous racing, including that Met Mile, which, of course, I believe is the Hillendale Met Mile.
I believe you're right.
Of course, Flightline and Speaker's Corner, as well as last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint champion coming back, Aloha West. And finally, last but not least, we are on from 3 to 8:30, covering the action from here and Churchill Downs, all on FS2. So race number 1, Anth,
Yes,
I
sir.
guess, you know, it has been obviously a horrendous meet for Jorge Abreu. He had a live maiden, I like the other day. The horse got locked in for life. But he's also had some horses that have just, I mean,
No fire.
it just, like the first race or the second race, the Stake, the Runaway Rumor. I mean, she just can't run anymore. She didn't lift a hoof.
And listen, you know, it's hard to come up here and really knock anybody, but it's hard to knock people you're actually friends with and stuff.
Yeah,
He
I
just
want to
hasn't
see
had-
Jorge
he
do
just
well.
has
I'm
not had
not.
a good
Yeah.
year. It's not even a meet at this point. You know, 3 for 50 something, and I think it looks worse because we know how good he is, and his numbers tell that story throughout his
It's a trainer that
short career.
wins whose horses are not winning.
Yeah.
This is a Klarvich horse. And, don't think, oh, Chad Brown has nabbed this one. Of course, Jorge Abreu is an assistant for Chad Brown, and he's had plenty of good horses for
Plenty of
Klarvich,
good horses.
including Price Talk and other ones as well, and live firsters also. And I'll tell you what, this horse has found the right field. So
He
Is
has
the
found
horse-
that. Boy, I tell you,
There's-
he couldn't have found. He couldn't have went and picked 7, and he couldn't have picked 6 rivals if he tried.
But let me ask you a question. If this horse isn't even money or less in here, it can't just be because the barn is cold.
It can.
No, it can't,
I think it
Anthony.
can. I think it can,
Anthony.
Andy.
It can't.
I think it can.
No, it can't.
All right.
No, it can't. So this is also a half to Dolly, who's a very good runner for Michael Dubb, and 3 horses that weren't very good, but they all ran buyers in the 60s. If this horse runs a buyer in the 60s, he'll win from here to Floral
The
Park.
Secretariat poll
Right,
come into
I mean,
play. Yeah, you're right.
like a
You're right.
joke.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
He's not 5 to 2 because TT's barn is cold.
To
It's
me,
not.
the only 2 horses you could pick in here.
Oh, you could pick anybody.
Well, I mean, to
You
me,
could
the
pick
only,
anybody.
I guess you could. The only 2 horses I would have a clear conscience picking are the Firster and the Fresh Gelding in the 6 analysis.
Well,
He might not be able to run at all.
Well, he can't run it all anymore. You love Jimmy Ryerson. I think your loyalty to Jimmy Ryerson is very sweet. I think Vinny 2 Cents makes a perfect amount of sense. His last races probably beats this field any minute. Has done some running in his races. I don't love him. Poppy on Ice, you never know with Randy Persaud when he's going to show up, but this horse did run against significantly better horses last time. So I don't agree with you on that. I mean, you're talking about the 6. He's never done a stitch of running because the new Gelding he's supposed to win.
Fresh Gelding.
So what?
I mean, he took some money in his first 2 starts. I think you got to hope that he can
Well,
run
it
a
was a
little
terrible
bit.
field is why he took
Yeah,
money.
he's in another terrible field.
But he did no running.
But at least he's doing something different. You know, he's got the ultimate equipment changes. I like to say.
Your loyalty to Jimmy Ryerson, you should get some sort of. I mean, Jimmy,
I love Jimmy.
I hope you know what a good friend you have on him because he hits picks more horse years with absolutely no chance whatsoever than anyone I've ever seen. And I like Jimmy too, but let's be realistic. Race number 2 is off the turf. But there's a lot. You know what?
So there's probably more going on off the turf than on the
It's a
than
better
on the
dirt
turf.
race than turf
I
race.
agree.
Because as a turf race, there was an awful lot of guessing to be
Oh.
done, and a lot of horses you didn't really trust. And at least as a dirt race, there's some form to go on.
Yeah, it's funny. The horse you picked on the dirt is the horse I picked on the turf, and I don't like him on the dirt. I like her on the dirt.
Okay. Well, go ahead and tell us why you like the 12.
So you and I were talking about this before the cameras went on. The track is labeled sloppy. Now, there's supposed to be some thunderstorms, 3, 4 o'clock, possible around here. So the track is
Which
sealed.
means nothing, but
Right. The track is sealed.
it's not sloppy.
And sloppy. It does not appear to be sloppy.
There's no water anywhere.
Right, but there's moisture in it.
No, it's moisture. It's probably
It's-
muddy sealed, though. It's
Right,
probably muddy
yeah,
sealed.
it's weird.
It's probably going to be
because
muddy
the s-
unless
the seal
we get some
probably-
storms.
Right, the seal probably did something to the condition
Anyhow.
of the track. Anyhow, I don't love that for suspended campaign. Suspended campaign has had.
Why?
Well,
The
I
last
just-
race will make them very
yeah,
tough. here.
her last race makes her tough. I just think she's probably a little bit more comfortable on dry ground. I know the numbers don't figure that, but she's never won on the wet track, and
They never do
more
when you
often
say
than
that.
not, horses that run well on the wet track.
Her third with a Vegas weekend in Saratoga, a sloppy sealed track, will likely win this race.
Yeah,
but
I
you're
what I worry about on these tracks is she gets left with too much to do. If
but
this
she might get
track-
left with too much to do on a dry track.
Yeah, perhaps if she.
She's always got a lot to do.
Yeah, I just worry sometimes especially on the sloppy sealed tracks, muddy sealed tracks, whatever, they can get a little speed favoring. I think
Aren't you a little more worried, forgetting about all that mumbo jumbo, that when this horse ran, the Nodas went 6 for their first 8 at the meet. Their horses were winning like, and let me say something, they weren't horses that had been pinpointed for opening week at Belmont. They were horses like, hang on, like Carrick, who suddenly ran significantly better than she had run in her 3 starts. And now, since then, their horses are back to being where they were
Yes.
for the period. And that worries me a little. And by
It
the way, I got
does.
the horse second. I'm not against this horse. She's the best horse in the race. She runs a race. She's just not reliable.
That's ultimately right. She's not reliable, but she is the. If you were to assign somebody the back class of the field, it's her.
yeah, but I mean, Shadow Lamo is in good field. Horse you have
She's in great
second, I have
form.
fourth. I mean,
Great form.
She
I mean,
can
she's
win.
She's run really one clunker. I'm not going to hold the sprint against her because I do. Well,
I'll tell you
I'm
what
not gonna
worries
hold-
me with her. Honestly, Eduardo Jones, a 2% trainer. This is his only win this year. Now it goes to the Scano barn, and it seems like the trainers that don't win, they get trained by the trainers that do win, and they never win. And you and I picked them all the time.
She's in such good
She is.
form.
I agree.
Yeah.
Who's
that-
riding? Is Jackie back on?
It's Louis Saez actually.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
have
a rider
Saez
for
written.
Carrick as of yet, but yeah,
Maybe
it's
there
Louis
isn't one.
Saez. The
Okay.
Nodas aren't that good.
I don't have any problem with those horses. I don't have any problem with Chase and Bryn, who I think is dangerous. I also think Me Bitter you have third is not impossible in here. As far as charge account, other than the horse's last race where it got embroiled in a pace that just completely fell apart, this horse is consistently running numbers in the dirt that are good enough to beat this field, and she looks like the speed to me. I'm not a genius, but she appears to be faster than the horses
You're
early in
not?
this race. I am a genius, but aside from being a genius, she's faster than these horses early, and
And
she's supposed to get in front of these
Jose's
horses.
going to put her on
Right,
on the
so
front end.
I just thought she could wire the field,
Okay.
and I thought some would think she's more of a turf horse. But I think there's a whole lot more going on in this race as a dirt race, frankly, as a dirt race.
I agree.
This is one race that, even if it didn't rain, they were better off taking off the turf, oddly. Race number 3 is on the turf, and the turf's listed as yielding. The rails are out on the... I'm confused. Are the rails out 35 feet on the inner? Because we're listing the distances about distances, which usually means the rails are out 35 feet. They sure don't look like
Don't
35
look like
feet,
35 feet to me.
but maybe they are.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't have my phone, so if somebody's texting me, I'm not getting it. Big scratch in this race for me. I like Bryce Canyon.
Okay.
Let's start the conversation with Devil's Outlaw for Chad Brown, who I have third and you have second. So his last race. He is not winning this race if he runs his last race. This was a fast pace that collapsed. We saw the horses come back from this race. Now, Urban Forest had a perfect trip, but so did Devil's Outlaw. He was a mediocre fifth. The horse that had trouble in the race, he finished a decent second without a great trip. And he lost to that first-time star you had a tip on for Anthony Dutrow. They ran a huge race. But I don't think anybody out of this race ran so well as to suggest this race is really better than that 80 buyer. He's not going to get a lot of pace to close into in this race, so I'm not saying it doesn't mean he can win. But he feels to me like a perfect example of why the incredible 45% win percentage for the Chad Brown barn has to drop. Because they're horses that broke their maidens. They're horses that won a non-winners of one condition. There are a lot of horses that are going to get into tougher and tougher races, and as was evidenced by Monday, where one of them won at 4-5 or even money that should have been
Aggregation.
5-2, and one of them ran nowhere at 9-5 and should have been 4-1.
Tin Pan
They're
Alley.
overbetting all of these horses wildly, and I get it, but I think as a player you have to start to try to beat Chad Brown horses. And what about this horse makes him
Nothing.
Especially strong contender
Nothing.
here?
Not off that fig. Now, I have
Not off the race he ran against the horse he ran, fig and all.
I liked his. I actually thought. I understand what you're saying. He kind of got everything to go his own way. He didn't catch a tough bunch of horses.
Got everything to go his own way.
Yeah, he got
Well, is
everything
that
to go his own. Yeah. I liked his effort. It was off the 15 months.
Chad Brown's great off layoffs.
Yeah, but 15 months, first time this country.
Chad Brown's great in these situations, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought
I'm not saying I'm going to fall out of my chair if he wins.
Yeah, I don't want to pick him
but,
either.
But he's a good horse to bet against.
Yeah, I agree. I had to go back to my boy Kawaii River, second off the layoff, just hoping he needed to knock the rust off last time. I think his best race was in the call place going to 7. I think he'll be able to, he's another horse. He doesn't really have, he hasn't shown this turn of foot, so I'm hoping that maybe the 7 is a little more to his liking. When you mentioned there's not a lot of pace in here, he should be forward today. I'd like to see him.
He should be forward.
Yeah,
they
he
have
should
to
be
stop.
forward today.
They made a mistake in the Carl place. He didn't break that day, and they made a mistake being unaggressive. And some reason they seem to be continuously compounding that mistake.
It's been like a continuation.
And at 7, he is supposed to be closer. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little sick and tired of him.
I came very close to taking the same horse you did. I came very close to putting Chad's horse on top. But I had to give him one more chance with the race.
Subsidize is supposed to be the controlling speed here, though I agree with you. Kawaii River is supposed to be near him. I just don't know if Subsidize is good enough. As far as Big Everest, the biggest surprise to me when I saw him entered was that he wasn't a gelding. And I had a big note on my form saying gelding with a big question mark, because this horse, and I talked to Christophe about this horse is a bad actor. And he's a very talented horse who's been his own worst enemy. In his last start, that was an extraordinarily slow pace. I mean, they were absolutely crawling. I thought he ran extremely well in there with a little bit of early trouble to finish as close as he did. Now, it was a while ago. But the fact that he's been gelded in there, and he has a similar running style to Devil's Outlaw, and he's a better horse, and he's going to be a bigger price. So for that reason, I like him in here.
Yeah, like Andy just said, he's been announced as a gelding. So
yeah, he's
it's
a
not
gelding.
in the PPs. He's a fresh gelding.
That was, so that's where I'm going. But listen, I'm not going to be shocked if any of these horses win.
No, you can't be wildly against any of the 3 horses I think we have
on
top.
I'm pretty strongly against the 7 here. If he wins,
Wow.
I'm losing.
Okay.
I don't think he's that good.
All right.
Could he improve? Of course. They could all improve, and I understand they improve for Chad Brown, but he's going to have to improve a lot, and it's not going to be commensurate to the price he is. And they're not.
He'll be the favorite in here, and he shouldn't be.
They're not discriminating on the Chad Brown horses anymore. They're just betting them all.
Betting them across
and
the board.
They're all winning, so I get it. But as time goes on,
can't sustain
they're
it.
going to be in tougher spots.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who you are. They
Correct.
can't keep winning.
They can't be sustained, and they're going to go. These horses that start graduating out of these conditions and maiden races have to go. This horse has to take on winners today, and he's taking on 2 horses that have some ability.
Race number 4. Let's talk about horses that ran first. And we'll start with Capone, who we both have 4th. He's okay, but don't you feel like last time was the time?
Yeah.
But he ran fine. He runs his last race. He's going to take a lot of beating.
Yeah, he will. He's cutting back for a second start off the 3-month break. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to deal with Actualize, you would imagine.
He's pretty quick, though. This guy.
He is pretty
His
quick.
last race, he was fast.
He is pretty
Lost
quick.
to a horse that was claimed out of a maiden claimer, but he had run good races, and it was a pull back to the other horses. It was a legitimately fast race. I'm not against him. I think of the horses that have run, though, I imagine Jester Song's going to take a lot of money, and was look at the race he ran last time, he was 4th. When Actualized ran very well to be 2nd, the heavily touted, highly respected, who came back and got beat a zot by Witt in the Bayshore. Everyone's going to look at the Louis Sayas rider switch from Heeman Harkey, but let me ask you a question. We'll show that race. What did Heeman do wrong?
Nothing. And the blinkers go on today, so from the rail, you would imagine he's going to be under the gun.
He's got blinkers? Okay.
Yeah, he got blinkers on. So I would imagine that he's just part of, he's more pace. And like you said,
he's not fast enough to run with
he's
these horses.
not.
I don't
Well,
care who's
you don't know
riding
what the
them.
blinkers are going to do.
Yeah, they got to make him a lot faster, Anthony.
You're not wrong.
The 5 and
But
7
with
are
the
both
draw,
quick.
with the draw considering,
But the 5 and 7 are fast.
they're fast.
They're
I'm not
not
saying
speed
they're not,
horses.
but what's he
they're
going
in
to
front by
do?
default. Probably
What's he
sit
supposed to-
behind them, and,
I guess.
and if no other firsters have speed, he'll be third. But he can sit third. I mean, you don't have to gun from the rail. I mean,
You don't, but do you really want to get, you want to start getting this kickback in your face and dealing with all this
he's
stuff
run
today?
3 times. Kickback is gotten ridiculous over. The reality of the one is he's not fast enough to be in front of the 5 and 7 unless he's a different horse today. And I don't
You have a
believe it.
different rider, one of the most aggressive riders in the country, and you got a blinker, you got an equipment change.
You and I have a very different opinion on that. And you think he'll be in front. I don't
I don't
think
think he'll be in front.
close
I think
to
he'll be fighting on the front end, though. There's a fast horses in
I
this
don't
race.
think there's a chance he'll be fighting on the front end.
Okay.
There are firsters in here, and you've decided to pick them 1, 2.
Yeah, because I do think there's going to be some pace in here, so I went to 4 Good, the number 3, who was a full 2 Breeders' Cup champion, Good Magic.
Is there a
2-year-old
story on this
champion.
horse?
No, I got no story.
So you're guessing with a
I'm
Chad Brown
guessing
first-time
with the Chad
star
first,
with a big pedigree that's going to be overbet just because of everything else. Well, I'm just...
I don't. You see, I think they kind of have to bet. I think Capone will be favored in here. I do think Capone will be the favorite in
Well,
here.
he is the morning line favorite.
Yeah, I think he'll be the favorite in here. He ran, that was
I'm skeptical, but okay. What about Sidekick?
And then sidekick, of course, the full Code of Honor.
No,
Code
he's
of
not.
Honor.
No, he's not. He's a half to Code of Honor.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. He was Noble Mission. I think the name kind of screws you up there.
Well, if you think about timing, it doesn't screw you up. Code of Honor couldn't have been sired by Honor Code
that's
unless
true.
he was getting busy while he was a young one.
Yep.
Is there a story on this horse?
You make a great point. No, I don't have any
So you're
story.
guessing with 2
I'm guessing
firsters
with
in a
2
race where
well-bred
horses
firsters.
ran well. Okay.
Well, I
I
think
see these races very differently than you do.
they ran well with the same running style. I feel like they got to
I
get
like
each other's
Town
way.
Branch a lot in this race. If you look at Town Branch, I think he's a lot better horse than it appears. Something went badly wrong in that race at Gulfstream, and he was basically eased out of that race. So where he ultimately finished is no indication of his ability. And then he comes back, and he runs a very creditable race, going 1 mile and a 16th at Keen on the Slop, setting an insane pace, 23, 46, and 4. They came the last 4.5 furlongs in almost a minute. So the fact that he was 4th beat only 11, is pretty good. Creative Minister won the race, came back and ran a good figure at Churchill on Derby Day, and he was 3rd in the Preakness. Now he's cutting back, taking the blinkers off, gets Jose Ortiz. I think Town Branch makes an enormous amount of sense in this race, and that's who I like.
Okay.
Even the bottom horse. The bottom horse has 0 pedigree, by the way, Flash Kiss, but they paid $175,000 for this horse. I don't know what his sale workout was, but I bet it was good. Because there's not only is there no damn side pedigree, he's a Cheetu. How many Cheetus are there?
I don't know.
I mean, right? How often do you
Not many.
see Cheetu?
Not around here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they probably see him in Florida, right? I guess in some Florida bred races. But, I mean, even down there, I don't feel like there's a whole plethora of them running around. It's a big price to have paid for that horse.
Yes, it is.
That's an oddly an interesting firster because it's the opposite
of the
pedigree
price,
and the
correct.
price, right? Race number 5. It's a better field than the first race. At least there's some horses in this race that have given the appearance
Crossed
they
the
could be
finish line.
members. By the way, I should have called you on this. I tweeted out late. My mom learned me this. There was the second half, and I didn't see the first one of this nature show on PBS.
I saw the tweet.
I don't know if anybody watched it last night, but look for a nature show, Equus. It's 2-parter.
Okay.
Second part about the history about horses and about a guy traveling around. I mean, one of it, he went to a place up in like the Antarctica or something. These horses that have adapted out in the. He had to drive 1,000 miles from like the nearest airport or something.
Wow.
With this, unbelievable. I don't know if people watch. It was great. Really, really great stuff. The horses, just how they evolve, and how they've evolved to their circumstances. Also went to the. That island off of Canada where the wild horses live. People aren't allowed out there. You have to get like permission to go out there.
Wow.
You would really love
I'll
it.
find
No,
it.
it was really great stuff. I don't know if people got to see it, but it was great stuff. The nature show Nature. My mom, who is the world's biggest adherent to PBS, all those British shows she loves. So what did you do in this Belmont Stakes preview?
Went to Denny's Destiny.
When in doubt, Wayne Potts.
Yeah.
I picked the horse last time. You didn't have the horse anywhere.
Showed up at least a little bit last time. First time back on the. Yeah, I know you did. First time back on the dirt since the debut in February. I don't have much for you here, my friend. You know, there's some speed in here. I guess Lady Yellen makes sense.
They'll be flying out front.
Lady Yellen makes some sense. I mean, who did David make the favorite? He made get Lady Yellen the favorite.
Lady Yellen's going to be on top of the pace with My Little Lulu, and I think she is the logical horse to beat. Calls the sloppy track race, and she ran well enough first time. I thought she was a logical horse. I do think Boobala on the outside, who I have third and you have second. Bobbity Boo, who ran some buyers in the 70s, and one of the two foals was actually okay. Trevor's on that horse. I am one of two first-time starters for Tom Morley, actually. Big win for Tom with the Cowa Dream the other day.
Yes, congratulations. And now we're booming through the building.
I like Big Bean Christine.
Okay.
It's a great name, Big Bean Christine. Is there like a story? Do we know who Christine? Does she like big beans
I
or
have no idea.
some magic beans?
Talking to the wrong guy.
I know. I mean, the truth is, the last two races this horse has run in the dirt are the best dirt races anybody's running here. And I think when they look at connections, this horse will get a little overlooked. I mean, you could say this horse is kind of the logical horse in the race off the last two dirt races, right?
Yeah.
Hector Diaz here for this?
Yeah.
Hector, Hector's a good rider.
I don't
He
know.
rides at Monmouth,
No,
rides at Tampa Monmouth. Hector's a good rider.
Yep.
He also has a very important position. He's followed by me on Twitter. And as you know, I don't indiscriminately follow people on Twitter.
You are you're a tough follower.
Yeah. The truth is, I don't look at that many tweets.
No, of course not.
Because
Why would you?
I don't look at tweets on my follow. No, I look at tweets people send to me.
I know.
To respond to them.
Yes.
First half. We'll be back with the late pick 4 in a minute.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
Hi, we're back.
Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to Talking Horses.
He's Anthony Stabile. I'm not. Race number 6. We're still on the turf. And,
Ryan's cat came out.
oh, so I guess we're...
I guess we might be saved by the
I guess that means
the
that
weatherman.
Glenn must be optimistic about the weather.
Yes.
And
That
Glenn
that was
Kozak
new,
is
right?
never wrong.
No.
That back area is coming together. They put the sod down there.
Yeah,
Looking
looks
good.
great.
Glenn's been playing on his tractor back there for a while.
It's amazing too. Like that happened pretty quick. Well, you see, you feel like it's a while. I feel like that thing got done pretty quick.
Well, they've been working on it a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot going on. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
nice. No, it looks nice. They've done nice stuff in the backyard. And there's more stuff to come. So,
Did it just get like 25 degrees hotter up here?
21.
It's hot.
So, supply and demand. We'll take a look at his last race. See, I think he ran a lot better than Crimea River. He really made a big run in this race to get himself up there. And unfortunately, I wasn't second. I wish he had been. And, maybe that win with that first year will sort of break the lousy run Tony's been on. That horse got a huge figure, 86 or something. That's a big figure for a debut turf buyer.
Absolutely.
That's a big number. That horse crushed.
He ran.
Oh, that not only was your first winning tip on the show, I think, it was like an unbelievably good tip.
Guys, that should be 5-3-10-2.
5-3-10-2. What happened to 3? He's scurried away from you. Why do you... So I think Solaya Demand is, kind of the worst to beat in here. I worry a little bit he won't get much pace to
You
run.
got him third also. Yeah, me too.
No, I have him...
You have him third.
No. My picks here are 3-10-6-5. Okay. 3-10-6-5.
Okay, so 3-10-6-5 for Andy.
3-10-6-5 for me.
And 5-3-10-2 for me.
We take this stuff very seriously.
All right.
3-10-6-5 for me. No.
Maybe whoever set the camera up can do this.
I think this is very much a race between the 3 and 10. What is your story on the 5?
I don't really have a story on the 5. I just thought he ran well on both
your
surfaces.
story. I didn't say
Oh,
you
my-
had a
I did-
story.
I
What
did-
is your,
all right,
I said, what is your story on
Oh, I
the
thought
5?
you said, what is my story?
What is your
you,
story?
Mr. Accavano. So in here, I'm hoping he is able to get to the top.
Well, he's the speed along with the 3.
Yeah, I think he's faster than the 3. And I'm hoping that if you put the,
Not really, but okay.
all right.
It's close.
I'm hoping he's able to get to the top in here. I am not, I don't know what to do. I don't trust microphone.
Okay, well, let me just say something about Pirate Life. One of the things that I do in my handicapping is when I get horses from out of town, I look up who they ran against. That was a bad field he beat last time.
Well, our old friend Crackshot.
That was a bad field that he beat last time. I'm just saying it. And he did it with an absolutely perfect trip. And he's going to transfer that to 7 furlongs against these horses on this course with some give
Well,
from
he won
Gulfstream.
going 3/4 on the dirt.
Anthony, good luck to you. I
Yeah.
got him 4th by default. I understand he could be the speed. I don't see it.
Yeah, I didn't trust microphone cutting back. He sent him to Tampa to break his maiden.
Well, wait a second. He said about 5 Grade 1 winners break their maidens at Tampa.
On the dirt.
On the turf. On the turf. Digital age. What are you talking about?
Never mind. I mean,
Okay.
I zoned out for a second.
Okay,
I zoned out for a second.
I was getting worried.
No,
I thought
I
you
zoned
were
out for a
going
second.
to give you mouth to mouth.
Listen,
I want you to know,
can I tell
Anthony,
you something?
if you collapse as your friend, I will give you mouth to
Thank
mouth.
you.
I just want you to know.
Can I tell you something?
That's how kind of friend I am.
Can I tell you something?
What's this
I
that
looked
I'm
down-
not that good a friend?
I looked down just now. And I saw Todd Pletcher. I don't know what happened just now in my brain. Something. It's been a long day.
Okay.
Something went
Long day.
flight.
Okay. Here's my feeling on microphone. I get it. This is a Chad Brown horse that won easy first time out, and he has disappointed. I totally get it. He's also run some pretty good figures and disappointing. And I have a strong theory on the last race he ran in, and it's going to come into play tomorrow, possibly, depending on weather. I believe that race in particular, but races on April 15th, you had to save ground. If you look at the race on April 15th, the 8th, every horse that ran well in there was right on the rail almost the entire race. And this horse was 2-3 wide around the racetrack. So I do think he was somewhat compromised by the track.
Okay.
I got to admit, I hear you. It's about, today's the day. And I don't want to hear it's a yielding turf today when he doesn't run well. Because today's the day that he goes in the basket of a Chad Brown horse look good first time that just isn't that good.
Yeah.
But I believe he's going to run well.
And you want to talk about a horse that's going to get over bet. I mean, of the horses that he has in today that are going to get over bet, this might be the king. Because
I don't know. They're going to bet supply and demand.
You don't think they're going to see that there's no pace in this race for supply and
No,
demand?
they're going to see your horse, Nick, because you're in a 5 furlong race. He's faster than he is.
Yeah. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll
I
see.
wanted
Anthony's
five.
trying to
I
beat him.
wanted
I'm
5s
not.
and 3s.
I'm not. Race number 7, speaking of heavy favorites, let's get through this one quickly. We'll show Shalimar Gardens. If she loses, I lose.
Her job got a lot easier with Dancing Kiki coming out too, right? Because now she's just supposed to go right to the top. If Dancing Kiki wanted to be aggressive,
I agree. That's a
she
good
was
point.
faster. I mean,
Anthony, you make a great point.
I almost picked against her because she seems a little faint-hearted. But with the scratch now, she's supposed to be controlling things on the front end. And quite
her
frankly,
figs kind of belie her ability, but her figs are so much faster than
So much
everybody else
faster than
here
these
that I
horses.
just
Yep.
can't bet against her.
Yep.
And
I stole your girl for second. Okay, honey. And
yeah, because I can't have Bit of Irish Sash second after her last race.
No.
She was just atrocious.
I put her third for that reason.
put her
You
fourth,
can't
like,
put.
put Kona's
How
Dream
can you
in
put
there.
her second? Right.
Kona's Dream is hurt by the scratch, though.
Yeah, very much so.
And a Bit of Irish Sash can be a bit closer. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm with you. I'm not trying to beat this favorite. So race number 8 is a problematic race, to say the least.
And it got more problematic with the speed coming out. I thought.
Well, isn't Ever Dangerous supposed to be in front anyway?
I thought Doswell was going to go, but yeah, I
Doswell's
mean,
not very fast.
Now Ever Dangerous will be in front. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Ever
thought he
Dangerous is a
would've settled
faster horse
Doswell.
than Doswell, but maybe he would have been in front. And the truth is, Flop Shotter you have on top, he's going to be very close. And we'll take a look at his last race. I don't have an issue with his with the distance. I mean, he's a horse that ran well at 1.25 miles over in Europe. The only issue I have with him is he's got a little phony in him. And
I don't disagree.
with all due respect to By Land and Sea, there are better horses in this race than him.
There are.
He's going to be uncompromised because he can be forward, but he's another Chad Brown horse that takes money every time, and he finally won last time. Now, maybe he liked the taste of winning last time, but I'm still not convinced he's a winning type.
What'd you do? You went the other way in here? You took one over Miami?
Yeah, I liked him anyway.
I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of his, but I always feel like he needs one to get going under his belt.
We'll get to him in a second.
But
I think Ever Dangerous becomes much more dangerous in this race with the scratch. He
You
can
think
be
he becomes ever dangerous in this spot
ever
now?
more dangerous.
Ever more dangerous?
I'm going to use 1-4-6 in here. I'm not letting him beat me. He could wire this
He's
field.
hard, it's hard to, yeah, it was a weird scratch because I thought Doswell was going to go and he was going to sit again in 10th, but now this is his lead. And
Doswell's not even really fast. With
unless,
flop
no,
shots.
I understand that, but I feel like with the ones, you acquiesce and you let them go and you sit because at the very least they're dangerous.
Why would you let horses go?
That's what they do.
Well,
I'm not saying you're supposed to.
That needs to stop.
But that's what they. Well, tell them,
Well,
not
it's
me.
going to stop with Flavien. It's going to stop with Flavien Prat here because he's not going to acquiesce to that let everybody go thing because he's an aggressive rider, and these guys all have to be an alert that Flavien Prat is here, and he's a terrific rider. And if they're going to go in these tactics of just laissez-faire, whoever wants the lead can have it and crawl, he's going to bury them here. And so I think you're going to see that change.
That's what Joel Rosario did when he first came here 10 years ago, if you remember. He was just
aggressive sometimes.
Yeah. That's the tactic.
So I don't think that's going to happen. And so, you look at the ride Javier gave Ocala Dream where he left enough to get position.
Yeah.
I think he'll do it. And Manny's been much more aggressive lately. It's one of the reasons he's winning.
And that was the other point I was going to make. I would not be surprised if they leave out of here. If they leave out of here and Manny's aggressive with flop shot.
Well, he's supposed to be in front.
Ever Dangerous
is Ever Dangerous or flop shots? One of those two.
Yeah.
As far as Moon or Miami, we'll take a look at his race 2 back when he was 3rd. Behind Gouffo and Channel Cat wired the field in the Man of War. He's compromised by the pace. I don't disagree. But I will tell you, Mott's numbers off of 6 to 12-month layoffs aren't terrible. I liked him more with Doswell in the race because I didn't like Doswell. And I don't know if he'll get enough pace to run at. But I'll tell you something. He runs as good races. He's the best horse in the race. And he's not going to be favored.
That's not. I don't disagree with that.
The scratch takes away some of the price. He doesn't have much pace, but I don't know. He's kind of good, this horse, coming back, and I just took him.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, but I'm not against the 4, and I'm not against the 6, and I don't trust the 1.
Yeah.
Off the layoff, so. Well, the last race really held together. This one, by the way, in case you're interested, not better off the turf.
Not better.
So we're not just,
off the turf.
you don't think we're just shilling when we said the second race is better off the turf? This one?
Not better.
Not better. Worse, in fact, off the turf. I don't know.
If the 6 or the 8 don't win this race, right? What are you going to do?
Well, I guess if they don't win, it's because the 1, Kimbo Dancer, the War Dancer that Horacio Paz left in, or the 5, Compromiser.
I believe it'll be exactly the 3rd War Dancer that went on the dirt. Right, the Michelle Nevin horse that went over the winter.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
When they win.
No. Make a great point. You make a great point, my friend.
This ain't exactly New York Bred Showcase Day here.
If Big Bean Christine gets it done, Bruce Grossman will be looking for the double with Compromiser. Hector Diaz
and Bruce Grossman winning 2 today. That would be what a day that would be.
That kind of day. This is that kind of day.
There was some troubles. And listen, you do what you can with the weather. The annoying thing about this weather was it wasn't predicted at all, and it sort of snuck its way in over the last couple of days.
Right.
Anyway, it is what it is.
We're here.
We're glad to be back.
We got 9 fresh for you.
We do, and you're going to head over to Naira Bets because you've had so much fun today, and you feel like, what are you doing?
You owe it to yourself to keep the fun going.
You really do. Belmont 25, free $25 bet, and match $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets, support racing in New York, and most importantly, keep the money in the game.
Yes.
We have the contest. We have the $300 contest as we always do this weekend. Always fun. Love that feel as they turn for home in the turf at Belmont. We've got the $5,000 2-day Belmont Stakes Challenge, June 10th and 11th. 50,000 seated prize pool, all cash prizes on track, online through Naira Bets online. Go to naira.com/contest. Also, Belmont Stakes tickets, they are available. Please come get them. Please come see Anthony and I. Don't think of it as Belmont Stakes Day. Think of it as my birthday party.
It's Andy's birthday.
And finally, last but not least.
3 days for
Andy's birthday. If that isn't keeping you away, nothing will. And finally, America's Day at the Races, 3 to 8:30 today on FS2. Enjoy the show. Anthony, cool down. It has gotten a little more humid.
This is the first time I've washed out in a while. But it's a little steamy up here.
All right. We're both heading upstairs or to our various hovels.
To our corners.
And we will see you guys later. Bye. We're done.